It's the Terry Sullivan Show. Today's guest with Dickey Shea Smoking Pork, Jackie Henry. The man that makes it all possible to be miserable. It's Terry Sullivan.
That wasn't nice at all. That wasn't nice at all either.
Yeah.
That's a little private joke there.
I understand.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm glad we finally got that after 6 takes.
Yeah.
You know, you only do that. You only do that every month.
Right.
Hey, that little deal that you did, it looks pretty simple. Could you teach me that in like 10 minutes? And
Yeah.
you look tired. You play a lot last week?
Played a lot last week.
Yeah.
Played yesterday. Played 2 shows Saturday. Got to play in the cold on Saturday. You know, when it was cold.
Well,
And then it was 70 degrees the next day.
that's good for your throat right there.
Perfect.
It's good to see you. How's Paula?
She's doing great.
I know she had a procedure done last week. She's doing better?
Procedure, but she's all nice and well. Back to work today. Somebody's got to earn the money.
Terry, I'm excited about our guest today. Her name is Jackie Henry. Jackie,
Yes. Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you're here. And we got a lot to talk about. So
Yes.
I talked to your fiance, and he gave me a lot of dirt on you. And so we're going to get into that first. No, I'm just kidding. But you do have a fiance.
Yes, we are getting married this Saturday.
I know. I'm catering that thing.
You are. We are so excited to have the barbecue. Trust me.
I've changed the menu a little bit. I didn't want to tell you ahead of time because I didn't want you to cancel me. Yeah, but I decided to go with bologna because it's a lot cheaper right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are you excited about it?
I am.
That'd been bad if you said no.
Yeah, no, let's see.
No, we're just getting it done.
Just get it over with, out of the way.
But now your fiance, what's his name?
James.
And James worked with you at Dickey Shea's for a while, and he has his own restoration business, so he's off doing that now.
Yes, James was actually at Dickey Shea's for the 5 years, so from the beginning of time, it was actually his mom and uncle who opened it.
Oh.
And then a few years later, when they all started having grandkids and really wanted to kind of step back and enjoy their lives, me and him kind of stepped up and took over the business. And then within the last year, he kind of wanted to go back and focus on Two Shea's, which is his restoration company. So he's doing that full time, and I'm running the bar full time for him.
Well, that's probably better. It's better on a marriage if you don't work together. You know, somebody's going to get killed sooner or later.
Yeah, we also kind of figured that before we got married, we might want to kind of find ourselves because it seems like all we had to ever talk about was the business.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice now that, you know, we don't see each other during the day as much, so we can kind of.
Well, you know, it's hard. I mean, I've known families that worked businesses, and it's hard on the family because you're together 24/7. You know, and sometimes you don't get the breaks that you need, the space that you need. So, I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, it's nice that everyone's kind of been able to take a break and figure out what they're doing, because it's nice whenever we get together as a family to not always just have the business in the forefront.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's good to have the family aspect back into it.
Yeah. So before it was Dickey Shea's, where did that name come from?
Well, his uncle's last name is Dick, and his mother's last name is Shea, so they just threw something together and they came up with Dickey Shea's Smoke and Pour.
I can't tell you how many times I've thought about that because I come by there every morning to come to the restaurant, and I've often wondered, that's a weird name. I wonder where that came from.
Yeah,
now I know.
The first time I saw it, I kind of got a good chuckle out of it too, because I've never really, you know, you have the ones that are just the generic bar names, and then that one kind of just stood out to me when I first saw it. So.
Well, I like it. It's different. It's
Yep.
it's unique. Yep. So Dickey Shea's is off of 121 Business in Louisville, and a wonderful place, a nice place. But you're a bar and a grill.
Yes, we used to be a smokehouse, which is where we got the smoke and pour from. We had a fire in August of 2021, and it actually burnt down our smoke shack. So we had to make the decision whether or not we wanted to stay mostly just a bar, or if we wanted to try to go back into being also a restaurant. So we changed the menu up a little bit, added pizzas since we lost the barbecue, and ever since then we've just been rolling out with the pizzas and burgers and all that.
That barbecue business is hard anyway.
You would know. It is something that, like, as you would know, it takes a lot more than a simple menu. So.
Yeah, well, you know, you smoke all night, you sell all day, and so if somebody doesn't get a lot of sleep during that time. But you went to I looked at your menu, and all the pizzas are handmade. Is that correct?
Yep. So my fiance James, he's also kind of a at-home chef guru, as we call him. So he basically designed all of the menus that we do in the pizzas, and we roll out our own dough, and all the toppings are fresh, and it's
I've heard
stuff.
great things about it.
Yeah.
You know, we have customers that come in here that go over there and they talk about your pizza. They talk about how good it is and that it's handmade and that the dough is handmade and hand tossed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pizza?
My favorite one there, I probably like the Signature White, which is basically just your Alfredo pizza with chicken and bacon and spinach on it. So that's one of my top favorite ones that we have.
So you guys have had it for 5 years. Before that, it was Hot Shots for 12 years.
Correct.
They moved down the road,
Yep.
right? And so, but tell me how it was in 2020.
Well, one of our saving graces was the fact that we were also a restaurant. So for the city, we were able to stay open with restaurant terms versus a lot of the other people who were just bars had to close because their food sales weren't a certain percentage. So what we were able to do with that situation is we actually did a lot of food donations to the City of Lewisville Police Department, hospitals for nursing staffs. We moved our smoker up into the front close to the street so everybody could see it. So we tried to make the best of it, but as everyone else, it was really hard to get through 2020 and to try to come back from that.
You know, Jackie, you guys do a lot for the city. You do a lot of catering and a lot of charitable work. And tell me about that, because that's very important. And a lot of people don't do it. But I know Dickey Shea is known for that, and people enjoy that, and they respect it. Yeah.
Well, we are kind of known as the biker bar. But one of the great things about our bikers is that they break a lot of stereotypes. So in our bar, we have people from different walks of life all mingling together. And our bikers are very big on charities and donations. We do things like poker runs where we team up with other bars across North Texas, especially the VFWs. A lot of charity rides to honor veterans. If customers from different bars and stuff are struggling in their lives with sicknesses or losses of income and stuff, all the bars will get together and have huge charity events and all that to just kind of help the community get through hard times.
So when you say biker bars, do you have specific biker clubs that come through, or just random?
All of them.
All
of them. You'll have your individual riders who just ride it because they like to ride bikes, and then you have the ones that come through that have clubs, you know, that have 15, 20 plus people that come and hang out and, you know, spend the night, you know, listening to music and eating good food.
You think they'd be all right with them if I rode my bicycle up there?
Oh yes, we have all kinds.
I got a pretty nice bicycle.
Yeah, any form of two wheels, they are accepting of.
So, so the restaurant side, there's restaurant side, bar side, and of course they come together. What are some other things on the menu that really sell well?
Well, our burgers. We have a Chubby Guy burger, which is actually something that my fiance's family brought from Colorado. They owned a bar in Colorado.
I need that.
It's a very good burger.
Trey, I need that Chubby burger.
It is a very good burger, but it's...
well, what is it? What does it consist of?
That is my father-in-law's secret recipe.
I'm going to have it before we go further.
Yeah.
Call the father-in-law.
Yep, he is in charge of that one.
So it's a secret recipe as far as what goes into the meat?
Correct.
No kidding.
Yeah, he puts all kinds. It's a huge bowl, and it's not your typical, salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. He's got a whole little magic thing that he puts in there. So
I'm gonna need one of those today.
yep, I'll give him a heads up.
Yeah, is he there? Does he work there?
I believe he's working today. Yep, Monday.
Oh, well, tell him I'm gonna come by there about noon and grab me one of those chubby burgers, and he and I are gonna have a conversation.
Okay, he might let you in on it. He might.
So what other?
Well, our burgers are our top ones, and people really like our wings, and that's just primarily because the way that we cook them, we just make sure that skin is extra crispy and the meat is extra juicy.
I go. Obviously, I come by there every morning, and then I go by there every night to go home, and it's just always seems packed over there. I mean, there's just the parking lot's full, and I always go by there and I think, wow, they've got something going on in there.
Yeah, a lot of it is, it's truly, a lot of people say this about their bars, but our bar really stands out because it really is a home away from home for our customers. They've been loyal to that building even before we came into the picture. And so they always are there, and they're always extremely supportive, and they're always really good about spreading the word about our business and having people come in. A lot of people will come in looking for barbecue still, and we'll send them down here because we don't have it. And
I know that, and you know how I know that? Because when they come here, they say, Jackie, send us down here.
Yep, and we try to make sure that people,
that.
Well, I mean, we know good barbecue, and that's one of the reasons that we found this place was because we were hankering for barbecue, and this is one of the few places that we had that was a taste of home. It tasted very good to what we have at our place. So.
I appreciate it. And by the way, that's a Texas word, hankering.
Hankering, yeah. Well, I'm native from Lewisville, so.
Are you really?
Born and raised.
Trey, you ever use that word, hankering?
Not that often, man.
No,
I should though.
Yeah, you should. It's a Texas word. If you want to be a Texas boy, you got to use hankering.
Hankering.
Say it with me. Ready? Hankering.
Hankering.
There you go. We're good to go now, baby. We're good to go now.
I want Texas now, baby.
You're born and raised here, though, right?
I was.
Not. If you don't know that word, you weren't. You're lying. You guys are not involved in this conversation, so I'll get back to you. Thank you, though. Well, I know I did. So let me ask you this, because I don't go to bars, and I don't have anything against them. It's just not my scene. But when you have karaoke on Friday and Saturday nights, or Monday and Tuesdays?
We have them Friday nights, and then Saturday nights we have live music.
How does that go? How does the karaoke go? I don't know much about it. Do people just get up and sing whatever they want to sing?
Generally, and then you have the ones that have their own playlists already prepared in their head, I'm sure, throughout the week, and they come out and...
Wait a minute. So people actually, they do that, they're serious about that?
Yes, very serious
kidding.
about it. It's an outlet for a lot of them, and we have some really good singers that will come through, and you can tell that this is something that they probably could have done.
Oh, no kidding.
Absolutely.
So do they sing with a track, or do you have a band there that plays back of them?
It's just a track. So we have our karaoke DJ. Her name's Karen, and she's also an amazing singer. So she'll do a lot of backup vocals for people, but it's usually just a track that plays in the background for them to sing along to.
How'd your Super Bowl party go?
It was good. It was good. We had quite a few people turned out for it. I'm not sure many people were very happy about the turnout of the game. But no, it was good.
Yeah. Well, I was happy about it. Nobody likes the Eagles that has any sense at all.
Yeah.
You can't be a Cowboys fan and like the Eagles. Nobody does that.
This is true.
But I thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
They should have won as good as they played the first half.
Yeah. It always is just a turnaround.
Yeah.
When it comes to.
Do you ever have any fights at the bar?
Well, yeah. I think that's one of the things that just comes with owning a bar.
Yeah.
But I think it also, our reputation with our bar is, with it being more so of a biker bar, we're very lucky in the fact that not a lot of people bring any riffraff into our place.
Yeah.
So it's a very mellow and laid back kind of, people are there to hang out and have a good time. They're not there to get into anything and act like fools. So.
You know, your customers are very loyal. I mean, we're probably 2 miles apart. But we have people at times talk about Dickey Shea's and talk about how great it is, and I had somebody say a few weeks ago. I said, "How long have you been going to Dickey Shea's?" And they said, "Years, years." So it's a very loyal customer base, and a lot of that is because of you, Jackie. You have such a dynamic personality, and your hospitality is off the charts, and everybody knows that.
Yeah, I try. I think out of everybody that works there or that is an owner of the place, I'm probably the most reserved. I'm more of the put my head down and get the work done, and I think the customers, they notice that as well, but I think they appreciate it. And when I do have the chance to mingle with them and stuff like that, it just really makes it all worth it, all the hard work worth it, because they are really such good people to be around.
When you think about your bar and the drinks that you offer, on a scale of 1 to 10 compared to other bars, where are you at? Because it takes a really talented bartender to really make a bar work.
Yeah, and my staff is really good. They're veteran bartenders. They've been doing it for many years. Where we don't really have the newer generation of bartenders. All of my bartenders have been in it for 20 plus years. So they come up with some cocktails that I've never even heard of. But we are primarily a whiskey and beer bar. I mean, which is your typical Lewisville, Texas crowd. People know what they like, and they come in and they get the drinks, and they're made the way that they like them, and we just keep them coming.
What other activities do you have?
Well, besides the karaoke and live music, we also do pool tournaments.
Now, wait a minute, do you do live music every night?
Every other Saturday.
Every other Saturday. Okay.
And sometimes we push them in onto Fridays, just depending on who the band is and how big they are.
You've had some good bands come through there. I've watched through the years, and you've had some very notable bands come through there.
Oh yes, some of our bands that we still book play at venues like the House of Blues. So like Gypsy Voodoo is a really popular band here in North Texas. They were just there. Three Drunk Monkeys is a very big band that comes through.
Three Drunk Monkeys.
Yeah, they're very good.
Terry, have you ever heard of Three Drunk Monkeys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've had some really good ones, and then we also like to spotlight the up and coming people. So we'll have, the 1 or 2 people who want to come in and just do like an open mic or an acoustic and just kind of hang out and show everybody what they have.
You think I could come over there and pole dance?
Well, I mean, if he's playing, you might be able to.
I don't really pole dance. Everybody's watching. I don't really pole dance. You know that. What?
I quit.
So what else? I mean, you got pool over there. I know a lot of people go over there and play pool.
So we have our major pool tournaments are on Sundays and Mondays. And then we also host what we call Calcuttas. So if 30 plus pool players show up, the bar puts in a couple $100 into the playing pot, and it really turns into quite the scene.
Yeah. You know, I want to talk to you about the city right now because the city has great respect for Dickey Shea's over there. We hear it. To me, working with the city of Lewisville, and I would say the city of Lewisville, I'm talking about City Hall, the management, and all of that, is almost a dream for me because I've had 14 total restaurants through the years, and working with cities can sometimes not be the easiest thing to do. But the city of Lewisville, to me, really go out of their way to help businesses be successful instead of trying to find things to
close them down
to close
or make
them
it
down.
hard.
They find remedies for issues and solutions to help you be better.
Absolutely. When we went through the fire, our biggest panic was trying to get open again. We are fortunate to where all the damage was exterior. None of the smoke or anything got into the actual bar, but we didn't have power for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So for those 2 weeks, my staff, me, and my customers and the officials from the city of Lewisville, the health inspectors, the police, all them would come through, and in the middle of the summertime with no power or AC, we're all in there cleaning and getting things up to code, and they did everything possible to try to get us open as fast as they could, and we were open within, I think, 8 days after the fire.
No kidding.
And I really, without the city and without the customers coming in on their days off and stuff, it wouldn't have been possible to happen that fast. So we are forever grateful for the city for that.
Yeah. So what was the reason why you did not go back to smoking meats?
Well, once we got everything opened back up and we got the insurance and stuff taken care of, it had been almost 6 months to 7 months. And by then we had kind of gotten into the groove of being just solely a bar and not trying to be a bar and a major restaurant, so to speak. And changing the menu and taking a lot of the items off really gave us the opportunity to put the money back into the business for things like entertainment. So we were able to book bigger bands more often and host different kinds of parties and events. And we found that we really took to it. We actually liked that.
Now you do host a lot of parties. And do you do a lot of catering as well?
No, we did when we were barbecue, but now that we have just burgers and pizzas and stuff like that, it's not really one of those things that we get into too much.
How do you host parties and still stay open for the public?
Well, my mother-in-law, she is the party guru. So anytime that there is some kind of national holiday or some kind of seasonal thing, she is really good about turning it into a pub-related party. And she likes to step out of the norm from things. So she likes to post things like Alice in Wonderland parties, Harry Potter stuff. We try to keep things different, and she's really good about thinking outside of the box for that. So she always has some kind of party, 70s parties, hippie parties, you name it.
You like your mother-in-law?
I do. Yep.
I had to ask that question.
I am blessed to have.
What do you think would happen if you'd have said no?
Oh, she'd probably teleport here right now. But no, they are. I come from a very working class family, and they are a very, they've built this empire. They all own their own businesses. His sister, he does, his mother, his uncle, all of them very successful. And I came from a family that we always worked for somebody. And like everybody else, I always had the dream to work for myself. Who doesn't? But I never knew how to do it. And so when I met them and they gave me the opportunity and really just kind of, gave me the push and several pushes still, they're still having to keep me going in that direction. But without them, I don't think I probably would have ever even thought that I would be able to run a brick and mortar business, especially a bar. So.
Well, you've done a great job at
Thank
it,
you.
still doing a great job.
Thank you.
What separates you? If you were to say this is what separates us from other bar and grills, what would it be?
That 121 has so many good businesses and it has so many good bars that are very well established. Tease has been there for many, many years. The owners of Rack and Tap, the previous owners of Rack and Tap, they had Hot Shots for many, many years. And we came in and purchased the bar a year before COVID. So we only had about a year under our feet, and then everything kind of just came to a stop. And the fact that we were able to make it through COVID, come back, and still be able to be there and keep going strong, I think it really just speaks volumes for how dedicated my staff and the family and our customers are to making sure that it goes on.
Yeah. So your does your mother-in-law and father-in-law, do they work full-time in the business?
My father-in-law does. My mother-in-law, she has her own thing that she's been doing for about 25, 30 years. And then her brother was also an owner and stuff. He owns his own financial company. But I call them the faces of Dickey Shea's because they were the originals, they're the OGs. And they are the people of it. So they are who everyone comes to see and hang out, and they're the life of the party. So. What
do you have coming up for St. Patty's Day?
Oh, St. Patty's Day.
Is that a big day for you?
Oh, yeah, for everybody. Everybody looks forward to that. And I think Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day and I think Halloween are like the three biggest ones that all the bar people get excited about. But it's going to be good. We got a lot of drink specials that are going to be coming up. I'm sure we're going to come up with some bar games, live music, and good people.
You need for me to come over and pole dance during that, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
You kind of stalled a little bit, so I'm not coming.
Well, as long as I get 50% of the profit on that.
I guarantee you'd go in the hole on that one. You'd be paying me to leave. Yeah. So Have you ever done a crawfish boil?
Yes, we actually did one on this past Saturday for our Mardi Gras party and stuff. We have one of my regulars, Junior. He loves to boil crawfish, and so every year he will boil crawfish and shrimp and all kinds of stuff for us, and we sell them for, I believe we did $8 a pound. Is what we did on Saturday. Sold out.
Did you have a great crowd?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How many pounds did he boil?
I want to say probably about 10 pounds each of the shrimp and the crawfish.
Oh, no
it was
kidding.
2 huge coolers, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else coming up that you need to talk about?
With the business, it's just business as usual. Every weekend is a party, and we got the wedding coming up, and we're going to have the reception at the pub, so that's
Right.
going to be fun. We're going to turn it into, you know, not a bar. I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah. So for the reception, are you shutting it off to the public?
Yeah, it's just for the daytime, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to reopen it at night. So.
Are y'all going on a honeymoon?
No, not immediately after. No, we gotta with the
gotta
two
work.
businesses, and yeah, it's just we'll play it by ear.
Yeah. Well, I am so happy that you've been here, and I want to tell you, you've got a great reputation in the
Thank
city
you.
of Lewisville, and that's saying a lot because not a lot do.
Yeah.
And I wish you great success going forward. I appreciate all the support that you give us at Sullivan's Barbecue as well.
Absolutely.
You've always done that, and we appreciate it. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Terry, take us out, buddy.